Krishna with you all, and I welcome all of you today for this great training session. So once again, that we are going to learn today
Important is not only for learning. We all had our teachers throughout. Even I impart the same thing to my students. But all those who implement that learning become successful in managing it. Now we've also learned this term time management. But let me tell you something new over here. It is not time management. Yes, my dear friends, it is not time management. It is self management as per time. I cannot say, I got up late, let me go to the clock and just move the thing, and then the time will again be reversed. It does not happen. But yes, if I know tomorrow is a more busy day, I have to get up little early. What comes here is self management as per time. Time is like sand, the more you try to hold it hard, it just goes off from your hands. So, what you can do is you cannot hold the time. You have to walk along with the time frame and manage your schedule as per it. So, what is time management, or rather, what is self management? So, when we use our time productively, now here when I talk to my students, many a times, when they give me their timetable, they are like, yes, madam, we get up at 6 in the morning, 6 to 8 is the time when we get ready, then 8 to 10 is our commuting time, especially for the students who are really coming from remote villages to colleges. For them, I do understand it becomes little difficult. Then they attend the college, they go home, they rest for a while, which is okay. Now comes the most important part. When I ask them, what do you do between 4 to 6? You have good time where you can finish your submissions, your journals, and they are like, ma'am, 4 to 6 is usually the time with our social media. Now there comes self management. We all know the pros and cons of social media. I'm not saying it's not good. I do believe that everything, when it is utilized within the parameters, when it is utilized in the correct manner, now comes the first point, when you utilize your time productively. It is important to be on social media. I do not deny that. But what you select to see on social media, that also is important. You have to time up yourself. Okay, today 15 minutes for social media, rest of 1 hour and 45 minutes, I'm going to finish my journal or I'm going to finish my regular work. And that is how it goes. Ways to manage your time efficiently. We need to manage each and every microsecond. Now, that does not mean I'm asking you to sit with a stopwatch and say, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these many seconds, this is the work, these many seconds, that is the work. No, we are not robots. Here, what I'm trying to say is we have to manage ourselves with our time and walk with time hand to hand. Now, again, prioritize your task. Priority is something very very important. જે સ્ટુડન્ટ્સ મને સાંભળી રહ્યા છે, પ્રાયોરિટી એટલે જીવનમાં રાખવી પડે એવી પ્રાથમિકતાઓ. પ્રાથમિકતા એ કે જ્યારે આપણે પોતાની જાતને પ્રાથમિકતા આપીએ, જે મારા મતે ખૂબ જ જરૂરી છે. કે આ સેલ્ફ લવ જે આપણે સેલ્ફ અવેરનેસમાં શીખીએ છીએ, આત્મજાગૃતતામાં શીખીએ છીએ, in self awareness, when we learn about how important it is to love yourself, that is the first priority according to me in my life. And I would tell everyone, જો સેલ્ફ કેર કરશો, પોતાનું રિસ્પેક્ટ રાખશો, પોતાના સમયને સન્માન આપશો, તો ઓટોમેટિકલી બધી જ વસ્તુઓ તમારા પ્રમાણે રેગ્યુલારિટીમાં આવશે. હાઉ ટુ પ્રાયોરિટાઇઝ? ઘણા સ્ટુડન્ટ્સને એવું પણ થશે કે મેડમ પ્રાયોરિટી કઈ રીતના સેટ કરીએ? તો તમારું એક નિત્યક્રમનું ટાઈમ ટેબલ તૈયાર કરો, જે હું તમને આગળ જતા બતાવીશ. ટાઈમ ટેબલમાં જ્યારે આપણે આપણું આખું ટાઈમ ટેબલ જોઈએ છે, that time we realize we are wasting lot of time in some unnecessary activities. I do not say it is not right to be entertained. Yes, you should watch TV, you should do your exercises, you should be there on your social media. However, everything here has to be timed perfectly. You cannot give more time over here and less time here. So now we will learn how to create a timetable as per our routine. As I already said, it is always self-management and there is no time management, right? So everything is in our hands if we are very strong to go about it. So how to manage time smartly? So I remember one of the trainings I told my students, go in the college campus and collect 10 different things and come back in 2 minutes. So someone took 3 minutes, someone took 4 minutes, some of them they took 5 minutes. But there were 2 friends who came back just in 1 minute. What they did, I'll share with you. When I told them to collect 10 different things, what they did is they divided the work. One friend said, I'll collect 5 things, but 2 of each, and the other said, I'll collect 5 things and 2 of each. That's how they worked as per the time that was given, and within that less or short span of time, they came back, they exchanged the items. 5 he gave him, 5 this friend gave to the other. So in that way, they had 10 items each, and that's how they did it. So always remember, hard work is very good. Now we use the term smart work, which is very, very important for everyone to learn. So schedule. Always put up a time for whatever you want to do so that you remain on the track. Then, we all know that we are not robots, we are not machines. So we all need that small break time. So yes, you should make time for yourself. You should go out. You should meet your friends. Again, as I told you earlier, everything has to be framed up as per a time. So those small intervals are important to keep that grip over time. Allot time to every activity. Like if I am going to study a particular subject today, I have given my time, okay Nimisha, 10 to 12, I am going to finish this subject. So 10 to 12, 12:15, that is still okay. But it should not happen that 10 to 6, you are revising the same chapters, and at the end of the day you realize the whole day you just allotted for 3 things, instead you ended up doing only one topic. So we have to time up ourselves. Even for you all, when you write your exam paper, there are times we get stuck at one question. એવું ઘણી વાર બનતું હોય છે કે કોઈ એક પ્રશ્ન પર આપણે અટકી જઈએ અને આપણને એમ થાય, હા મને આવડતું નથી, હું આગળ કઈ રીતના વધું. એ જ વખતે તમે એટલા મેન્ટલી પ્રિપેર્ડ રહો કે ના, આ મને નથી આવડતું, લીવ ઇટ ધેર એન્ડ ધેર, મૂવ ટુ ધ નેક્સ્ટ ક્વેશ્ચન. કેમ આ કરવું જોઈએ? કારણ કે આપણે એ પ્રશ્ન જે નથી આવડતો ત્યાં અટકીને આપણે આપણો સમય તો ત્યાં આપી જ રહ્યા છે, સમય એટલો વેસ્ટ કરી રહ્યા છે, સાથે જે આવડે છે, જેની પાછળ આપણે ખરેખર સમય ફાળવી શકીએ છીએ, એ પણ આપણે પૂરું નથી કરી શકતા. અને છેલ્લે તો શું થશે ખબર છે? સ્ટ્રેસ આવશે, મગજમાં ટેન્શન થશે કે હજુ આખું પેપર લખવાનું બાકી છે અને હું આ જ પ્રશ્ન પર અટકેલી છું. So learn to time up yourself. Learn to manage yourself as per the time that is given for the questions to be completed. And take time from others. ઘણી વાર એવું લાગે બહુ જ બધું કામ છે. Of course, exam આ વસ્તુ ન થાય. That is not right. But yes, I am talking about your real life experience. કે જ્યાં ઘણી વાર બહુ જ બધું કામ હોય તો કોક વાર થોડી જવાબદારી આજુબાજુમાં આપવી જોઈએ. That is known as delegation. Learn to delegate your work. કામ સોંપતા શીખો. That is also an art. તમારામાં આવડત હોવી જોઈએ કે કામ કઈ રીતના કોઈને સોંપવું જોઈએ. બહુ જ સરસ કહેવત છે, ટીકા કરવી બહુ સહેલી છે. It is very easy to criticize and say, I did not have this in my life. I failed over here. I could not achieve this because I did not have a good background. My financial condition was not good. I did not have enough time, and etc. etc. I remember one quote, one saying which my grandfather told me once, that when you want to succeed in life, you will have thousands of excuses for not doing something. But only one reason is enough if you want to do something, and that is your strong willpower. We keep on thinking, feeling negative. I'm not using my time in a good way. I'm not using my time productively. Like, I face this issue many times when I look at my students that their submissions are not done, their journals are not done. I think those who are listening to me, they can relate it. And then we blame the circumstances, we blame the situation. Madam, આ વસ્તુ પૂરી ના થઈ, હું આ બરાબર ના કરી શક્યો. However, the problem lies purely with us. It is us who did not take the right decision at the right time. જો તળાવમાં તરવું હોય ને તો કૂદતા તો આવડવું જ જોઈએ, કૂદવું જ પડે તો જ તમે તરતા શીખીશો. So if you want to do something, decision લેતા શીખો. ફેલિયર માટે પણ અને સક્સેસ માટે પણ અકાઉન્ટેબિલિટી લેતા શીખો, જે આપણે આગળ જતા રીસી મેટ્રિક્સમાં શીખવાના છે. બહુ સહેલાઈથી આપણે આપણી કરેલી ભૂલો બીજા પર નાખી દઈએ છે, પણ ક્યાંક ને ક્યાંક આપણે નિર્ણય નથી લઈ શકતા. That is one of the biggest reason for our failures in life. And one more thing we always have to learn, success is very important. However, it is also important to face failure. Now, I am not teaching you that you fail yourself or you do not do things. But yes, જ્યારે લાઈફમાં ફેલિયર ફેસ કરીએ ને તો એ આપણી પર છે કે આપણે કેટલા સ્ટ્રોંગલી એમાંથી ઇમર્જ થઈને બહાર આવીએ છીએ. You can take every situation in your life as a learning and get the best out of it and emerge even more stronger than what you were before. Now coming back again, how to create a timetable. A very simple thing જે બાળપણથી આપણે શીખતા આવ્યા છે, છતાં પણ મેં જેમ કહ્યું અમલમાં નથી મૂકતા, એના લીધે ઘણીવાર આપણે પ્રોબ્લેમમાં મુકાઈ જઈએ છે. So let me give you a few tips and I'm sure કે તમે બધા જ આ વસ્તુને આ ટાઈમ ટેબલને અમલમાં મૂકશો. So તમારા જે important daily task હોય, write down your most important daily tasks. Like, that does not mean that I write down, okay, I get up at this time, this is the time for me to get ready, this is the time for me to catch my bus, this is my training time. No, don't put it that way. Put it like, what are your important planners for the day. For example, હું જ્યારે આજનું મારું ટાઈમ ટેબલ સેટ કરતી હતી, so I mentioned that, okay, આજે મારી બહુ ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ ટ્રેનિંગ્સ છે 10 to 1, પછી મારો એક વેબિનાર છે 3 to 4. So I put it up that way. I put up the important things in my daily task. અને one more tip I will share with you. જો તમને એવું લાગે કે તમે બહુ ભૂલી જાઓ છો કે વસ્તુ તમારી ટેબલ પર તમે પ્લેસ કરો છતાં પણ તમને યાદ નથી રહેતું, So the best thing that I do sometimes is મારા timetable screenshot લઈને I make it my screensaver on my mobile phone. અને I am sure કે mobile phone તો બધા જ દિવસમાં તો શું કહું પણ એની કલાકે કલાકે આપણે જોતા હોઈએ છે. So to make the good use of it, why not make a timetable, daily timetable as screensaver to be more organized, right? Again, સૌથી ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ સૌથી મહત્વના ટાસ્કને સૌથી પહેલા મૂકો, એ પ્રમાણેનો ટાઈમ ટેબલ બનાવો, એની સામે કેટલો સમય તમારે ફાળવવાનો છે એ પણ લખો. અને એવું નહીં કે આજનો દિવસ ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ છે તો આજે જ બનાવ્યું. આ વસ્તુને નિત્યક્રમ પ્રમાણે ફોલો કરો. Follow it every day, and I'm sure all of you are going to do this. Now, elements of time planning. Procrastination. Yes, my dear friends, it does not apply to, I cannot say in particular it's you or me. In fact, it's all of us. We all do this. We have still been doing it. Yes, there are many who have learned from it and now have come out of it. So, what is procrastination? Procrastination means when there is something which is very important and you keep on delaying that important work by putting it into urgency. I'll share an example over here. When we have our exams, we prepare our timetable according to the time that we have. Now, if you have your exam timetable which is given to you, say 2 months before, and you have a time span of 2 months, what we do is we divide each subject as per a particular time schedule. I need 1 week for this subject, 2 weeks for this subject, 5 days for this, and so on. Everything is set, everything is perfect. Now what happens? Day 1, we sit down with full enthusiasm, with that learning and with that thing in our minds. Yes, this time I'm going to achieve it. I'm going to get a distinction or a first class. I'm going to give my 100%. I will do my best. Right? We all think that way when it's the first day, when we plan out our timetable. However, sometimes what happens is because we do not prioritize, again I'm repeating this word, we do not prioritize, things go fail. Now in a timetable when we are following that, we may have our friends, we may have social media, we may have so many events which can come through and which can disturb our planning. However, again, it is completely up to us whether we follow that timetable properly or we give in to circumstances. So when we get deviated from the timetable and we give up to circumstances, when you have planned something properly but some event comes in between and you are like, okay, I'll finish this work in the afternoon. Again in the afternoon something comes up and you are not able to do it. So this way we are delaying our work. And this is not happening just for one day. This keeps on happening day by day by day. Now what happens is your time becomes small, your time frame becomes small, and the syllabus is still the same. So this habit of delaying the important work and putting it into a situation where it becomes urgency is procrastination. Stop procrastinating. Learn to do your work then and there. For that, you also need to prioritize. Prioritize your time, prioritize what is important, do it first, and so on. Again, we cannot use our time so lavishly thinking that, yeah, still I have lot of time. No. Time and tide wait for naught. So remember that and work accordingly. Yes, one more important thing, avoid multitasking. Sometimes we feel we can do 3-4 things together. Yes, we can. However, what problem happens is that when it comes to the productivity level, that productivity definitely decreases. And then it so happens that none of the tasks that we have taken up altogether, we do not accomplish them properly, or something or the other is left behind. So always try to do your work one by one and avoid multitasking. Now, before we reach to goal, we've we've talked a lot about how to manage yourself as per your time. But very important thing before going to organizing is you should always have a goal in your mind. If I say while studying this time I want to come first, that's just a wish. This time I want to get good grades. It's just a wish. I want to work on my health. Again, that's a wish. Then what is a goal? If I say I want to work on my good health in the coming next 1 month, when I have given a time frame to my wish, that becomes my goal. Whenever any wish that is there and you put up a time frame to it, then it becomes a goal. And again, if you put it in writing, it becomes a commitment and then you're just unstoppable. So, yes, it is very important to have goals in our lives. So, coming to one of the very important skill which we all need to learn right from childhood till adulthood till we grow old and old. Something that's very important, organizational skills. Here I want to share something. When I was a student, when I was in college, I remember my mother coming to my room and always telling me, look at the mess that is there on your table. I think many of us we have this on our study tables. Even in the offices where we work, I have seen that everything is cluttered. Now, when you look at this picture, you can see that it is so much confusion around that when you have to figure out something that's very, very important, where you have put it, now you only don't know where it is. Why? Because it is not kept in an organized manner. So, are we organized? We need to ask this to ourselves. It is very, very important to be organized in our lives. Again, let me share this over here, very important. Organizing doesn't mean that you live as per a timetable. We all are humans. We all need that leisure time, but that is very much different than what being organized is. So, stepping into the details, what is the meaning of being organized? It's a process. Organizing is a process defining the relationships that people, tasks, and activities are there in such a way that they all coordinate together and wherein we try to get the most effective outcome when we are trying to organize something. If things are not organized, like in colleges or in an office or anywhere where we plan a big show, when we have a big show, we need to organize everything, starting from how we are going to execute, how we are going to delegate the responsibilities as per the skill of the person, and then the list goes on and on. Everything from the ground level to the top level needs to be organized if you want to put up a great show. And this show does not mean only the shows that we look at. It means the show in our life, the show at a professional level, the show at a social level. In short, wherever you go, you need to organize yourselves. Process of organizing. Now, here, very important. Say you have a big fair in your college where many other colleges are going to come and they are going to participate. Now, here comes division of the work that you are going to do. First, you divide your work. Okay, this work, this group will see, this work, this group. Now, every group has its own speciality. Like I remember our days when we were in college, We had a fine arts group, we had somebody, we had a commerce one, we had a science one. So everyone was given their work as per their skill, right? Now, each and every group that is given a particular work, again that group should have the delegation of the authority, meaning that group too should have a leader who reports to the main person who is in charge of the entire process. And not only that, again you have to see that all the groups or all the departments are working in sync. Coordination of work, which is also very, very important. Now, here I want to share something. Recently, I went to a corporate and where we were talking about this process of organizing. So, what happens here is your work, there are different departments in a big company or a big MNC. Now, every department has their own share of work that they are supposed to do. Every department is given work as per the group that is there. Now, every group again has a leader who reports the work to the topmost officials. And also, it is important to check that whatever work is given, there is coordination between the departments. If there is no coordination, if there is no organization, then that can lead to failure or it can lead to a plan that is failed. Now, again, when we talk about importance of organizing, when you organize things and when you go ahead in that manner, again, the benefits or the importance that is there is whatever specializations are there, you can avail the benefits by organizing. Again, there is a clarity in the work that is given. So, because of that, we can reduce the conflict that is happening. If you organize and give the work as per the skill of a person, there will be no conflict. If you remember, we've seen this movie Chak De India. If all of you have seen, and in that, when Shah Rukh Khan was he was making the whole entire team, hockey team. So I just loved that particular scene where he was talking about managing yourself. Like you may be good at your own particular place. However, when you're coming to work in a group, it is very, very important that you have to coordinate with everyone. You may have your personal differences, but when a particular role is assigned to you, you need to work accordingly. And that happens only when you organize your work. You can again utilize the resources that are given. Like if I want to start a business, what would be my resources? Money, time, right? Similarly, when you are working on something, you can make the maximum use of your resources. You adapt to the environment if you're organized and you work that way. There is good productivity, and this in turn also leads to expansion and growth of the sector, right? Again, the same thing. When you want to organize, you have to determine the target area which is there, actions that you're going to put in. Accordingly, authorities are assigned the distribution of the duties and responsibilities. Duties are given, then authority is assigned, then you prepare a manual chart and you organize the actions. And one more thing I would add to this is you need to keep a check on what is happening so that the process of organizing goes in sync. We all have heard this before. It takes forever to make a decision. So sometimes in life, it so happens that we find it very difficult to take decisions like, how do I do this? You feel that, you will not be able to decide for this. Or you must have also heard, like, when you go and ask your mother, Mummy, I want to go for a trip for 4 or 5 days. Your mother would say, Yes, I have the responsibility of the house, but I don't have the authority to give you permission to go and do it. So even that is there. And many a times we make decisions. I made a decision this week, and next week it's all haywire. I think of something else. So the decisions are changed. And I'm sure we all have been through these situations or heard of it. Now, the RACI matrix, which is one of the very, very important part of organization skills. I will give you an example over here. When you are given an assignment in your college or you are given a project in your college, what we do is we all have a deadline for that. So, when a teacher gives us something, a professor gives us something to be done, it is our responsibility towards that work. Our, which means responsibility towards that particular activity to be done. Now, what happens? The teacher has given you a deadline, and say, for example, you are going today. Today is the deadline, and you are going for the submission. However, due to some reasons, the professor is not there, is absent, or maybe not present. And then you feel, oh, it's okay, leave it, no, who cares? I mean, it's okay. I went. However, the professor was not there, then that's fine, that's okay. Learn to be accountable. Do not play the blame game when it comes to taking responsibility. If you are genuinely doing something, if you are serious about your work, it is your duty to figure out and by any means get it done. That is being accountable for your own actions. You cannot blame the situations for anything. Again, when you are doing your project, the professor several times says, whatever doubts you have, you can please come to me. I'm always there for you. I will always help you out. However, that time we do not listen, and in the end, when we are working on a project, we are full of doubts. However, we feel that, I will do it. I will be able to finish it. I don't need to consult anybody because I know it. So let me put it this way for everyone. Most of the times, we don't know that we don't know. Yes, most of the times, we don't know that we don't know. You're confused, right? It means most of the times we think or we assume, "Arey, this is easy. I will be able to do it." We only ourselves don't know that yes, this is something you are not aware of. However, if you consult somebody for your doubts, if you do not know something, you do not understand something, means you are self aware. You are aware of your strengths and weaknesses, which is very, very important. So, yes, organizing can be linked with your being self aware. If you are self aware, you will definitely consult somebody when you are in doubt without keeping that thing in your mind that yes, I know it all and I can manage it. Again, whatever we do, it's our duty to be informed and to keep informed about the decisions or the actions that are to be done. So that's about AC matrix, which is something very, very important for us. Now talking about VUCA. What is VUCA? So VUCA is something, it's a situation which is very unpredictable, which is, I can say, which is not in your control, which is very uncertain. To put a full form, volatile, like the environment demands you react quickly to the ongoing changes that are unpredictable and out of your control. Anything that you cannot predict, which is not in your control, which is uncertain, anything that happens, you are not prepared for it, it just happened, which has a lot of complexity, like many, many confusions. It's out of your reach. That situation is, you can relate it to VUCA. Teacher, I have shared a few pictures here with all of you. We can see how devastating it is when we see the nature and things, how uncertain it is. This is not something planned, it just happens. It's out of your control. So, when you have a vision, you have to understand there is, if there is complexity, when something is not clear, you need clarity for it. And when there is ambiguity in the environment, when you are not aware of things, VUCA, what we are talking about, is purely the uncertainty which you are not aware. So again, in complex situations, learn to be direct when you are when there is a transparency is there in the information that is communicated and received, and mutual trust as well. Even situations which are ambiguous, try to be understandable. There is a clarity which is required and responsibility which will empower each and everyone who is involved. Be reliable in volatile situations means follow through on what is said and agree to a positive momentum. How you can speed up in these situations in a good and a positive way. And also be trustworthy in uncertain situations. When situations are not right, learn to be trustworthy so that people can trust you in such situations and you are capable of being a help to others. So, teach me your organizing ways. So, more than organizing yourself, it is important to organize your mind, your thoughts. We can here say that we need to be very self aware, also very much self aware. If we are aware of our weaknesses and strength, then we can organize our mind as well. Important to know your role. If my role is into something which I am aware of, I can definitely do it well. However, in a team, when you're working together and you are clear with your role, then you can give your best. One more thing which is important is stick to your own work. We should not try to invade into somebody else's work or privacy, as that can also lead to misorganizing the entire work. Stop multitasking, which we've already discussed earlier. Do not multitask. We are not robots, we are not machines, we are humans, and we do have our limitations. So take up one work, take up one task, and give your 100% to it, and you are the best at it. Delegate the responsibility. Again, learn to give away the work when it is there. Use time wisely, as time and tide wait for naught. So make the best use of it. Be flexible at times. It's okay if things do not happen. Have a positive approach. Whatever happens is for good. Say sorry. I know it's a difficult word, but it's not impossible. And as I said, if we are aware of ourselves, sorry is something which is which should come from your heart when you really feel you have done wrong. So saying sorry will never put you down, it will actually put you up. Do not overcommit. If I know already I have so many things to be done, I should not overcommit, as that approach of overcommitting may result into a disaster which in turn can work against you. So always give the commitments which are within your reach and make changes, of course. We have to make changes as and when they are required. We cannot stick to the old ways or the old school methods. When new things come, new ways come, new methods come, it's our duty to accept, learn, and make the changes. As I always say, be the change you want to see. Organize your workspace. So I'm sure after this session, you all are going to do this today. And I'll really be happy if you understand and implement this whole process. So focus on what is important. Make your to-do list and put it as a screensaver of your phone, because that's what I do. Reduce clutter, which we saw in the earlier picture. The whole table was full of a mess. So do not do that. Reduce the clutter which is there. Put it more in an organized manner. Things which you do not need, learn to discard them. At the end of the day, even your emails, like I have seen that people, they have their inbox which is just full of so many unnecessary mails. Manage your mail and your phone calls as well. Unnecessary messages should be deleted if you do not require them. So yes, if you are working on a group project and are struggling to come to an agreement with your fellow members, what about the next step? Like, I remember giving an activity to my to a particular group of students wherein they had to design a logo for the college. Where I told them that you have to design a nice logo for your college, which says it all about what you are doing and what you are working. And I could see that there was kind of argument between them, where there was a small discussion as well, wherein everyone was trying to prove that this is right or this is right. Somebody would come up with his or her point, stating that no, whatever I am sharing or I am saying is more apt. So in such situations, always remember one thing: when you're working in a group, do not have the feeling I am the best. I am the best, and whatever I say or whatever I do is perfect. Always have the feeling I am the best for the group, and whatever has to be done in keeping in mind the group dynamics, right? I always insist on working more on these projects wherein you learn more about teamwork, because teamwork helps you to stay more organized, wherein there's a positive environment that is created. When you're organized, your thought process is more productive. When you're organized, things and conclusions, whenever you come up with something, you do have a logical reasoning as well for it. You have a direction to follow. So I think these small things help you come a long way. So, do you solve any problem in a creative or innovative manner? Think about it. The more you think, the more logically you think, you are going to find out a lot of solutions. Yes, that does not mean that only logical thinking is there. There are different thinking hats which we learn, and those thinking hats, like when you're very creative, when you're wearing a green hat, that is what is said. That does not mean that you wear a green colored hat and you start thinking creatively. Creative thinking means you think out of the box. When you think logically, practically, like when I grew up, I always used to see my grandmom doing things in a different way in the house. My mom has started working more differently. For a simple example to give, there were simple stoves and used to cook things on the stove directly. Until and unless a pressure cooker was invented and things went there. And now the technology has been advancing so much. So, whenever some change happens, something does come, it's our duty to accept it in a good way, to accept that change and to adapt to that change. So, if you have any problems in your life, don't just keep on thinking, why me? Always have the attitude, yes, it's me, now what? And that will give you a good solution oriented mindset. So, yes, today in this topic on organizational skills, time management, I'm sure we have learned a lot of things related to our personal, professional, and social life. I would also like to add that when it comes to organizing, it's not only our houses or our office space. Even the social structures or the social places need to be organized. Here, what I mean is when we go out to a garden, or when we go out to a party, or when we go out to a crowd, to a social or a public event, we always think, why should I do this? We don't consider ourselves accountable for things that are happening. We always think, okay, Something has fallen on the ground, that's fine. There's a guy who's going to come and clean it up and clean the mess. That's his job and not mine. When we clean our house, when we have the feeling this is my house, my country, then with that feeling, is it not important to derive that yes, if it's my country where I'm staying, I need to be organized and accountable for my country as well? So, yes, my dear friends, and all those who are listening today, let us pledge to be accountable for whatever actions we do, we take, and also respect our time, manage ourselves as per the time that is there, and we do not regret for anything that is gone from our hands. Time is like water, it's like a wave that's just going to come and pass away. So we need to respect it and walk hand in hand with it. So, yes, after sharing all this, I'm sure you reflected on your thought process, isn't it? Many things that are there. Of course, as we are learning about time management, self management, here also it comes into action. So, yes, we have a limited time, lots and lots to talk and lots to share. However, I would just appeal you once again, whatever we learned today, let's implement it in our lives and make the best of it. Let's be the best planned and best organized people and respect time as well. Thank you so much, everyone, for being a wonderful audience and for listening to this. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. The session was indeed very informative. I hope it will be very beneficial to the students. On behalf of our joint CEO, Mansi ma'am, and Director of Higher Education, Shri P.B. Pandya sir, I express my deepest gratitude to everyone present today. Thank you. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Thank you. Namaste.